You may be dazzled by your preteen and teens electronic fluency, but here's something far from dazzling. A new Stanford University study shows some 82% of middle schoolers could not distinguish between a native ad labeled sponsored content and a real news story on a news website's homepage. Here to discuss the disturbing implications of this is WSJ Work Family columnist Sue Schellenberger. Hi, Sue. Thanks so much for being with us. Tell us a bit more about how this Stanford study was conducted and what it found.
Well, researchers took 18 months and surveyed 7,800 students in 12 states, both affluent suburban schools and inner city schools and colleges, and set before them a series of social media posts and websites and asked them to determine which was more credible, which was more influential to them. And the students pretty much across the board, most of them had trouble distinguishing ads from news. High schoolers were swayed by a powerful photograph. Middle schoolers had trouble distinguishing an opinion piece from an actual news story. There was a lot of confusion about how to believe and see what we see online.
Oh, as a journalist, I find this especially upsetting, as I'm sure you do as well, Sue. What are the dangers of this?
Well, students really, I think psychologically, can become scared, frankly, by some of the stuff on social media. Some of it's alarmist. They can be terrified about scary things that social media tells them might happen. And of course, they need to know how to evaluate information to become ultimately informed citizens. So all of those things are at risk.
Absolutely. And we know even adults are vulnerable to this. Facebook and Google are taking steps to prevent sites that disseminate fake news from using their advertising platforms. And Twitter is moving to curb harassment by users. But how much do young people say they get their news from social media today?
Well, Media Insight Project found that 88% of young adults are getting their news from Facebook by the age of 18. And we know that middle schoolers are spending 7.5 hours a day online, even outside of school. So it's really the lion's share.
Absolutely. All right. So, Sue, I know that schools are starting to tackle this, thankfully. My 10-year-old recently described an exercise he did at school where they were asked to try and identify a fake news item. But as a parent, what can we do at home?
A lot. I think you can model reading news from multiple sources. You can encourage your kids to research things that interest them online, but then ask them, well, where did you get the information and what do you think about that source? Encourage them to do what they call lateral reading of websites. When you land on a website, don't just believe it or read the about section, but jump to other sites to investigate who is this website, who runs it. And also teach them that the Google rankings aren't necessarily based on the authoritativeness or reliability of the source, but on many factors.
Very, very good advice. Thank you so much, Sue, for this. I think that many parents are aware of online stranger danger and inappropriate adult sites, but this is just as crucial an issue for children's healthy development. So thank you for bringing it to our attention.
Thank you, Tanya.